Bitcoin as a currency in your bar?
Well, I guess there's two reasons. One is a pure practical reason because it's digital payment without transaction fees, instant, and nobody can take them back like with MasterCard and stuff like that. And the other reason is just purely because I strongly believe that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is a concept of the future. So I guess as soon or as early as one starts dealing with it, the better.
It's free, peer-to-peer, instant transactions, borderless.
I think it's a great concept because money as we know it doesn't work.
It can be used conveniently with everybody who has a smartphone. And you can send every kind of transaction, cents or euros or millions of euros in a matter of milliseconds.
If I want to send money around the world, there's no easy way. If I
Even with PayPal?
Yes, that's right. But then PayPal is too expensive and they're restrictive. You have someone who controls what kind of transfers can be made.
For example, in the WordPress blogs, you cannot pay with PayPal in some countries.
Yes, if they don't like your opinion, if you're in a country that has an oppressive regime, you cannot blog.
So Bitcoin is against censorship?
Absolutely.
Now we have this big European crisis and the euro, people talk about this, and we have countries like Greece, let's say, who is really affected, who have huge debt, people losing their business and businesses. Right. Do you think Bitcoin can be used by some Greeks to solve, even on a small scale, some financial problems? I mean, to save their euros or businessmen to make payments. I mean, we already have very few businessmen in Greece.
I do not have a dogma about this. I would say it should be allowed to use Bitcoins beside euro.
A euro note. Now, what is it actually worth? It's cloth, basically. It's posh paper, and it doesn't actually. It's not limited. You can print as many as you want. With Bitcoin, there's a limit to the number of bitcoins that you can have. It's in the protocol, and that gives them value.
If Bitcoin and the euro were two persons, how will you describe them?
I think then the euro would be a cowboy in the desert beating his dead horse, hoping it's going to get up and bringing him home, while the Bitcoin is a smart guy who's very relaxed and using the railway that is around the corner.
I think Bitcoin is a split personality. Yeah?
Dr. Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, in a way, because the values of Bitcoins are very conservative. So we will only issue such and such money.
Like maybe the traditional banking issues. Before banks became investment banks and hedge funds and stuff.
Yeah, or maybe in the times when we still had a gold standard, when
the value of the money was associated.
was fixed to something something real.
I think the euro would somehow be the coyote trying to hunt the roadrunner. And Bitcoin is like this smart, fast bird who always finds a way to outrun and outsmart the coyote.
The euro is basically someone on drugs, on crack, who gets high on issuing more and more debt and on printing more money to make sure that everything keeps running. They don't care that the value is going down.
And is Berlin, because like so many startup companies, a good place for Bitcoin to develop? Is it like a greenhouse for Bitcoin, maybe Berlin?
I hope so.
It is a basic technology to allow us to build all kinds of financial structures, mechanisms without any institution. It will definitely replace the way we have financing and banking today.
And I hope it will be a success.
Everybody hopes the same thing.
I don't know if everybody hopes the same thing, at least.
Maybe not a big bunker.
Yeah, we will see. Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
And I think of Bitcoin now as where the internet was in 1995, for example. .com boom was in 2000, so you might be 5 years away from when it's really mainstream.
It can become the monetary Silicon Valley.
Oh yeah, it already is the monetary Silicon Valley. More and more things in the world are written in computer code, and it was only a matter of time that something like money would be represented by computer code. And this is where we're now. It's grassroots. It comes from, from the grassroots, and it works its way up. And this is how nature works. This is how evolution works.
So Bitcoin follows the rule of Darwin, the rule of the survival of the fittest currency.
We will see. I mean, it's a contender in that race. I'm not saying that Bitcoin is the answer to any problems humanity has with money.
It can give inspiration.
Yes, exactly. It's one contender in that evolutionary race. Well, my greatest fear is that governments will try to regulate it and not to let it, grow and to let evolution do its work. I mean, the US dollar has lost 97% of its value in the last 100 years. There's only 3% left. I mean, and there's no doubt that Ben Bernanke, the chief of the Federal Reserve in the US, will devalue these last 3%.
Recently, like in October, the European Central Bank made a quite big report about digital currencies, focusing especially on Bitcoin. Generally, what do you think that banks are feeling towards Bitcoin right now?
All the banks we have now are built on the central currency euro.
At the moment, it seems that the euro is not uniting countries, but instead doing the opposite. And Bitcoin seems to be something that could probably help coming closer together and help to grow businesses, not only in Greece but everywhere actually.
Well, personally, I think it's probably going to coexist. I don't think it's really going to kill banks too soon. Bitcoin is doing to, or could be doing to the banks what MP3 did to the music industry or email did to the post industry and all that,
Bitcoin is I'm saying it's a Swiss numbers account of the 21st century, but you don't have to go to Switzerland and you don't have to be rich to get your numbers account. It's freedom, it's financial freedom, and this is very powerful.
Bitcoin and cryptocurrency based financial systems will replace the whole banking sector, and of course that's not really what banks want.